What's going on, everybody? My name is Austin Ariel. You might know me as the Kia King, and I am back at my original stomping grounds at Carriage Kia of Woodstock here in Woodstock, Georgia. And because of that, I'm getting back into the routine of giving you guys that top quality content regarding Kia, their vehicles, their features, etc. So today, I want to kick off my return with this gorgeous SUV. This is the 2024 Kia Sorento SX Prestige X Pro. Might be a mouthful, but it's a lot of car for the money. And today, I'm going to walk you through it. So let's get to it. Now, if you're new to my channel, definitely hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content regarding Kia, the brand, the features, everything of that nature. I do respond to a lot of your comments on how-tos regarding how to use certain features and things like that. And just know that I'm always in support of you guys reaching out to me saying, hey, you know, how do you do this? How do you do that? I love helping you guys, so definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that way you get alerts every time I release a new video. In saying that, if you're new to the channel or if you're not new to the channel and you're returning, thank you guys for your support. You guys know I've been doing this for years now, and Kia is a brand that I just find myself very passionate about. You know, between my wife and I, we've had 5 Kias total. We still have our Sorento, we still have our Telluride, and we love both cars equally. And my love for the brand continues to grow because they release vehicles like this. So without further ado, let's get into this 2024 Kia Sorento X Pro. So here in the front of the 2024 Sorento X Pro, X Pro is their flagship trim for the 2024 Sorento. So you are going to get some off-road goodies that I'll go over in a little bit, but you're also going to get different trimming on the bumpers and the exterior of the vehicle in general. So up front here, you have this kind of a graphite bronzy kind of colored trim piece here. You've got open air dams. You've got LED fog lights. They're kind of hidden here, but they are there. They do look like they're in black housings, which is really nice because it blends in here. You got a blacked out grille. You've got these beautiful LED lighting lights up here. I'm gonna hit the unlock button so you can see they are amber, and your running lights are going to be amber as well. You do have front parking sensors here, and then you do have a front facing camera, so that way you can actually see what you're pulling into as far as a garage or anything of the sort. You do have the Kia emblem embossed up there right on front of the hood. The hood looks pretty muscular. It's really a nice cohesive design. Down here you do have these design elements. These are not functional air dams, but they still look nice. And then the actual headlight is now a stacked full LED headlight. So your high beams and your low beams are going to be full LED. And let me tell you, these things are very bright, and they are projector. They're not reflector LEDs. It's just overall really, really nice cohesive design. You can see over here, you do have your brick for the radar cruise control. So that is something that you'll have on this vehicle, to be expected. But overall, just a very, very nice design up front. All right, so let's talk about these wheels, because this is really the biggest change for the X Pro model here versus the X line, which I'm going to do a review of the X line models as well. But essentially around the wheel well, you do have this cladding, which is nice, your reflector here. You do have a parking sensor on the side, which is really nice. So that way, if you're actually parking really close to an object, you can see how close you are to it. Here you do have BF Goodrich all-terrain tires here, wrapping around a 17-inch wheel. These are matte black in color. The center cap is actually quite large. It's like a pentagon shape here, but overall it's a really nice design. You've got a really thick sidewall here. The actual dimensions of the tire is a 235/65 R17 for those who are curious. But yeah, I mean, it's a really nice tire. Really good to see them actually putting some effort towards a little bit more of a durable, off the beaten path SUV. They did this with the Telluride and the Sportage, and now they have it on the Sorento. And for those who are curious, you do not get additional road noise with this tire compared to other Sorento models. So keep that in mind. Now, looking at the side profile of the Sorento in general, nothing's really changed from the pre-facelifted model. So again, this is more of a facelift. It's not necessarily a new generation of Sorento. So Kia likes to update their product lineup every 3 years on average. But overall, you can see everything's almost identical. These roof rails were shared on the outgoing X line. They're carried over to the X Pro model here and the X line. You do have black garnishes here. Mirrors are about the same. Body match or paint match, same thing with the handle. You will notice on the door handle, you now have capacitive touch. So if I want to lock the car, just rest your finger on there, locks it away. And then if you want to unlock the car, just rest your hand on the door handle. Boom. So they introduced that on the Telluride, which is nice. They brought it here to the Sorento. So Kia's going away from the physical button on the door handle on their top trims. They carried it here. Now, in the back here, the actual gas door here, it is push. So as long as the car is unlocked, you can push it open and you're golden. So outside of that, nothing's really different here from outgoing Sorentos. For those who are curious, if you're an existing Sorento owner, you'll probably notice this trim. It's no longer like a tinted graphite color. It's actually a dedicated gloss black trim. So to me, looks fantastic. But also, I think this is gonna fare better as far as longevity and durability against the elements, you know, because these were known for fading a little bit. It was easy to fix. You can, you know, wash it or whatever, but this is a good alternative here. So good for you, Kia. All right, so in the back of the Sorento, first of all, I apologize if it's dirty. It is pollen season officially, and I even rinsed this thing off probably an hour ago just to help get a lot of it off, but it kind of just fits the car. You know, you're probably going to take this, you know, on a trail or something. It's going to get dirty anyways, but you can see it against the paint. I think it looks cool, but c'est la vie. In the back, they refreshed the taillights, so now they're connected right here instead of two lines going down. In addition to that, you can see that the LED lights back here, they're kind of individual strakes, and then you can see the running light here. It looks really nice. It's a really, really subtle change that makes a lot of difference, and I love when car companies do that. Down here, you got the Sorento badging. For those who are not familiar, in 2023, they actually took it away from going all the way across the tailgate and put it back in the corner. So they continued that here. Your X Pro badge is over here. And then you're gonna notice your third brake light is there. And you do have a camera back here because this car does have the digital camera system. I will go over that once we get to the interior. And then your rear wiper blade is actually top mounted on the back here. That's been a thing for the Sorento since the 2022 or 2021 model year when they introduced this generation of Sorento. And then naturally, as you would expect, you do get a power lift gate. For those who have not looked at a Sorento in person, the release for the tailgate is actually right underneath here. It's not under the Kia emblem. It is underneath here. You can feel for the button. That is where Kia decided to put it. I'm used to it because obviously I've been with these cars for a long time. My wife has a Sorento and this is what we're used to. But if you're not used to it, it's easy to get accustomed to it. Now, other things you're going to notice down here, you're going to have more cladding for durability. Your reverse lights are down here built into the bumper. You do have reflectors here, and then you do have your parking sensors as you would expect. Naturally, you've got your reverse camera. And make note, this camera and this camera are two separate cameras. This is for your mirror in the car. This is actually your backup camera. And then outside of that, I mean, it's just that same bronze graphite colored trim on the back of the car. And then you have a single exhaust tip in the back here. So they kind of just point it downwards and kind of hide it in a way. So, but yeah, a really, really nice cohesive design back here. I really, really like it. Now, forgive me if the footage looks a little shaky. I'm trying to use my gimbal and just make it more natural. But back here, this is all carried over from the pre-facelifted Sorento. So you do have a third row in every Sorento, have no fear. You still have the buttons over there. That's actually gonna help you release the second row seats. So you can actually press this guy and it folds down that seat right there, which is nice. You do have USB ports. So if you see right there, you got a USB port there for the third row occupant, cup holders, and a place to put whatever you want. If you notice, you do have that same USB port over here, pretty much the same setup, and you do have a 12-volt power outlet. Now, one thing they did change a little bit is underneath here, you have a little less storage space than the pre-facelifted Sorento. I don't know why, but that's what they decided to do. So I don't know, take that as you will. You still have a lot of storage space back here in general. Now, up here, you are gonna see 2 buttons. So as you would expect, this is going to close your tailgate, but this is going to be for your auto close feature. So essentially what this car has is a feature to where if you have the key fob with you and you walk away, it's going to automatically close the tailgate. But say if for one trip you have to keep going back and forth between your house and the car, well, good news, because you can simply press this button right there and that'll temporarily turn it off until the next time you have to go in and out of your tailgate. So Kia thought of it and they knew it had to make sense. So overall, a really, really nice design. They introduced that on the Carnival, brought it to the Telluride, and now they have it here on the new Sorento. Now, going into the back seat, so actually first, I want to start on the door card. So this whole interior color that you can see here is their new olive brown interior color. So they introduced that for the 2024. I believe this is for the X-Line and the X-Pro models. I love it. It is gorgeous. It's a beautiful peanut buttery color. I mean, it just looks fantastic. In the back here, you still have sunshades here. You are going to have a 2-stage heated seat function there, cup holders built into the door. You got a little cup holder there, and then of course Bose audio. The seats look fantastic. You have this new kind of herringbone pattern here, which I think looks fantastic. And now the seats do have integrated side impact airbags, which is fantastic, especially if you have a family, kids, whatever, you're going to be protected. Down here, you do carry over the same one-touch entry button. So you push it, slides the seat forward, and then you can get into the 3rd row, which is nice. You do have that same button here on let the camera focus. There you go. You have the same button here on the shoulder pad. So if you're in the 3rd row, you can just press that and it gets you out. Now make note, you do have a bar here. So you can actually, there you go. So you can actually slide the seat forward and backwards if you want. And then let it be known here, you do have your household plug there. It's a 115 volt inverter. And then you do have your 12 volt power outlet, vents here. And then you do have your USB-C ports there in the seat backs. Now, for the sake of conversation, I'm 5'9". I'm not a tall person, but I have a ton of space. This seat is super far back. I've got a ton of knee room here. If I want to, I can slide it forward and backwards. I can even recline the seat if I want to, so I can relax. Probably won't do that right now. Might fall asleep. Who cares? But yeah, I mean, I've got a ton of space. I'm really comfortable. These seats are super comfortable. Overall, it's just a really nice place to be if you're an adult here in the 2nd row. Just make note, if you're going to be in the 3rd row, I would suggest probably, you know, a smaller kid or something could probably fit back there comfortably. And the 3rd row only fits 2 people. So this configuration is a 6-seating vehicle. So keep that in mind if you are looking at the Sorento. Now, stepping into the interior of the Sorento, you can see it's a gorgeous place to be in. Let's talk about this screen. You do have a digital gauge cluster here. You do have analog kind of readouts if you want, the circular gauges. Over on the right-hand side, you do have this huge, massive touchscreen. In-car navigation, you'll have, you know, Bluetooth, you've got your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's a really nice, really cohesive system. It's really reactive, which is something I love. And the modernism within the actual software itself looks fantastic. I love the way the maps look. I mean, it just looks really modern. It's a great take on it. You can see you've got a little widget there that you can use if you want to. I love the little compass, mostly because it tells you your elevation. 951 feet above sea level. Love it. But yeah, got your home button there, media if you want, phone, voice memo, weather, valet mode, vehicle diagnostics, setup. And then over here, you can see maintenance, HD radio data, navigation, online manual. So really, really cool. Now, earlier I was talking about that camera. So this rear view mirror doubles as a camera system. So that's the normal auto dimming rear view mirror. Mind you, you do have home link. Flip that up, boom. Now it is the camera. And it's really nice because where this is positioned, water never gets on it. So if it's raining really hard, you don't have to worry about limited visibility. Down here, you do have this touch bar here. Let the camera focus. There we go. It still has its little film here, so it's a little shiny, but have no fear. The actual material of the screen is a matte finish, so prevents glare, and it also prevents fingerprints. But if you've noticed, this was actually introduced on the EV6, then brought to the Sportage, and now it's here in the Sorento. It's really not that bad. The main thing is here, this is your infotainment controls. Everything is self-explanatory here, but if you tap on this guy that shared with the arrow and the fan, tap on that, and now it's your climate control settings. So it kind of makes it a 2-in-1 situation. And if you press and hold this guy, it'll actually let you choose what you want it to negate to. So if you want it to negate to infotainment, you can do so, or climate, boom. So I'm gonna select infotainment. So now if I want to select, say if I want to change my temperature, boom, put it to 72, and then you wait a little bit, you're going to see that it actually goes back to your infotainment controls like that. So it gives you some personalization there as well. Now, go in here, you do have your heated and cooled seats, have no fear. Let the camera focus. I don't know why this thing's struggling to focus today. There we go. Heated, cooled seats for both front passengers. Oh my goodness, it's not loving me today. There you go. You got a wireless charging pad there. You are going to have other goodies. So you've got this button here that'll actually let you select what you want to do. So if you want to do data transfer and charging the device, you can do so. Or if you push it, now it's going to only charge your device, which is really nice. Your charging pad here also doubles as your card reader because this card does have digital key too, which means that you can actually have a physical card that you can use as a key fob. Going through here, you do have your different drive modes. So you've got normal, eco, sport, smart, and snow. I'll probably make a video going over all the different drive modes in general because these are generally shared with a lot of Kia vehicles. You have this center locker. It's not a differential, so to speak. It's actually a clutch pack, if I'm not mistaken. So it just makes it aware if you press this, it shows up right here at the top, lock, and then what it'll do is it'll give you a perfect 50-50 split of power between the front and rear axle. Your idle stop and go is right there. This button turns on and off your parking sensors. This is your camera button here, so if you press that, shows your camera. You can see the steering angle there, and then you do have augmented reality. Finally, they brought it to the Sorento. It looks wonky because I have the driver's side door open, but you can tap here, tap on different viewpoints, your rear wheels, wide view, more fisheye view, and then top-down view. Maybe you, I don't know, want to put a tow hitch on it or anything of the sort. You got the same thing for the front. So front wheels, front wide view, front normal view. So it's really nice. Go ahead, press that. Let's see, you've got your electronic parking brake here, heated steering wheel, but look at this. This is 2-stage heated steering wheel. I have never seen in any car, BMW, Bentley, nothing. I have never seen a 2-stage heated steering wheel. That is a feature I absolutely love, love, love. You got auto hold here. So for those who are not familiar, that just makes it aware if you're in drive and you come to a complete stop, the car will hold the brake pedal for you. And then this guy here is your downhill brake assist. So think of that as like cruise control for your brakes if you're going down a steep grade. Now, other things to make note of in this interior, this is all carryover, your map lights, which this is just activated by tapping the glass itself. Your headliner is now a suede material, might be Alcantara specifically, and then you do have the panoramic sunroof, which is nice. The wood grain continues in the entire dash, which is nice. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be in. It really is. I mean, look at the herringbone. Oh man, the seats are just gorgeous. Love, love, love it. So this thing is just plush. Over here on the left-hand side, you do have your tailgate button, traction controls here, and then of course this is for your illumination of your actual gauge cluster. And then if you look over here, you do have your memory seat settings. You have 2 slots, and then you do have all your switch gear here that is carried over from previous Sorentos. This button here is for your power folding mirror. So you press that, they fold on in, press that back out, and then they're in an automatic setting. So if you lock the car, they just automatically fold in. So everything else just carries over, which is really nice. And for those who are curious, this is the new key to the Sorento. They brought this from the Telluride essentially, so you have the lock, unlock, you got the power lift gate button, panic alarm, and then on this side is going to be your remote start feature. So this is what the new key fob looks like. It is actually really nice. I've had it on my Telluride for Lord knows how long, and yeah. So for one, I apologize if there's any wind noise. It's actually starting to get a little windy here. We have a whole cold front coming through. But under the hood is a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And a lot of you are going to be like, man, a 4-cylinder and a big third-row SUV. I get it. But this thing has 281 horsepower and 311 foot-pounds of torque. This thing can absolutely move. It is fantastic. Now, in addition to that, you can expect about 27 miles a gallon highway as far as your fuel economy. But just from my experience, because again, me and my wife, we have an X-Line 2022 Sorento model. If we go down to Orlando or something, we've averaged 30 to 32 miles per gallon. So these things are excellent in fuel economy, especially considering the power they're putting out and the size of the vehicle, which is really, really nice. Now, this engine is mated to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. For those who are not familiar, dual clutches, it is a computerized automated manual transmission. So the computer makes the gear changes with the clutch packs and things like that versus you actually having a shifter. It's interesting to see why Kia put it in a SUV, but they did. And honestly, I mean, it's a fun transmission. It's something to get used to because you've got rollback. You can feel a little jerkiness sometimes just because, again, just like a normal shifting manual, you know, it all depends on how it grabs with the engine and everything like that. But in a general sense, it is a fantastic transmission. Shifts are very quick, smooth, power delivery is excellent. And it's actually really easy to get used to. So the powertrain on this thing is absolutely amazing. I love it. My wife loves it. She loves the power output of her Sorento. And yeah, it's a really all around good powertrain choice. Now, for those who are curious, the exact color of the Sorento is ebony black. So it's not a metallic color, which in my opinion is really fitting for a car like this. And then the interior color is olive brown. Now the interior color package is about a $295 option. I'm not gonna lie, worth it all day long. Now, this Sorento does sticker at $49,340, and that is after destination. So it's a lot of car for the money. You get a ton of features, ton of luxury. You get a little bit of off-road ability. I'm not gonna say this thing is a rock crawler, but you can get some durable, off the beaten path situations with this thing. So overall, it's a fantastic SUV. It's comfortable, it's luxurious, looks that can kill, and it's really easy on the wallet when it comes to gas mileage. So overall, it's a fantastic package, and Kia knocked it out of the park. So in saying that, my name's Austin Ariel. I am the Kia King, and this is the 2024 Kia Sorento SX Prestige X Pro model. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, definitely give it a thumbs up if you like the video as well and like this content, and I'm definitely going to be posting more. And leave comments if you want to know certain features and certain specifics about these vehicles. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And don't forget that I also have a TikTok that I do a little bit more in terms of quicker videos and such. So overall, yeah, you should be able to connect with me there. So in saying that, Kia King out.